Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. We're all friends, fans, coming to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. Happy New Year, even though it's like the middle of January. We record this shit so out of order. I'm Jason. With me is Tim.
Hola, yo ho.
And Bill.
I ain't no architect of creation.
And this week, it's Bill's pick. And he has picked 7 Spires. I'm sure these videos will blow up and go viral because 7 Spires is huge. Shout out 7 Spires. Come do an interview with us.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, here we are. We do love promoting bands, you know? Like, we say a lot of stupid, drunken stuff on this show from time to time, but at the ultimate heart of it, we do enjoy finding new music and sharing it with people. And we hope that you do too.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the one thing we hope you take away from this is just say, fuck those guys. They don't know what they're talking about, and then go listen to the stuff that we're talking about so you can prove us wrong. It's not hard.
Or you could just go listen to, Smells Like Teen Spirit again if you really want it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
or just listen to the first 5 Ramones albums.
I mean, yeah. Well, first 5 Ramones, first 5 Black Sabbath. Do you need anything else?
Yeah, I need more than that.
Right. Well, exactly. But do you?
I do. All right. So anyway, short introduction with the band. This was a brand new discography. I'm sure we all have the exact same story with them. We were looking for new albums to review in 2024. Bill found A Fortress Called Home, brought it to the table. We did a review. Tim was out sick I don't remember where Tim was at, but he wasn't there.
I think you guys did that the night I was at one of the Metallica shows, right?
I think that was Metallica week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he bailed on us to go see Metallica. Oh.
Well, I'm really into big pop rock acts, so.
Yeah. So that's basically our history. Bill kind of fell in love with A Fortress. I thought it was and now we're doing the whole discography. So, huzzah!
I'll start this show off, unless you don't want me to.
No, go ahead.
I absolutely want you to.
All right. So, Solveig. I haven't been able to find this one on vinyl when I looked, only on CD, which 7 Spires, if you happen to watch this, put it on vinyl. People will buy it.
I have a feeling that's going to be a Kickstarter situation, and this being their first album, CDs were a lot cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably still worth getting if you're into this band.
And that's, I was wrestling with it.
Yeah. If you want to get it before it's gone.
I had that CD in my cart, and then I went, gosh, do I just bank on them making a vinyl in a couple of years? Do I just get the CD now?
I mean, they might
in a couple of years. Will it be worth it to go back to the first album to promote?
Probably not. Well, no, it'll be like a 10-year anniversary edition.
In this case, maybe, because it is a story. This is like the part of the story, okay, so they may revisit it.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, so
a lot of factors to that very first question, Bill.
Yes, it is. As I had it in the cart, and I took it out at the end. I might put it back in the cart. But anyways, so we start this one off with Siren, which, sets a tone like, yeah, they're going to do these instrumentals, or instrumental chants for a couple albums. Going to start off the album, which you could argue that they're just intros to their second tracks on each of the albums. Which, my count for Siren, it's kind of a weird piano instrumental, but it sets the tone of telling a story, though in a fantastical light. I'm into it, and I'm curious where it goes at this point, just with how it sounds. In the modern age of being able to skip tracks and whatnot, it's probably one of those things, you give it to someone like, okay, if you want to hear the song, you just go to track 2. I would say track 1 is well worth it, just for the 2 minutes of intro, though. And then we get to Encounter. I felt Siren led up very well to that song. Great vocals and guitar work. And leads in the whole story of the Siren and the Sailor she quote unquote encountered. Cue song title. And then we do a Siren reprise, which I think is, I'll be honest, I feel like this is kind of a choice. And I guess since they had to have so many tracks, which is why they had a reprise already. Not really sure about that. I thought it was just an outro to that second track. Which maybe whole point of the
Which they
album.
didn't. There was no like record label pressure on this. This came out in
Oh,
2017. There's no
yeah.
support for this. This is an artistic vision.
Yes.
Everything on here
Which
is pretty much what they wanted to do and were capable of at the time.
I mean, I kind of get it. It's just the same time. I mean, again, this is personal taste. Maybe just shove it as an outro or something, or put the reprise later on because it's a nice, pretty song. Like track. Maybe when well, it's not on vinyl, so there is no side flip. Um, like maybe I would say like right after Stay, it could almost work really well before Paradox in a transition. Again, one drunk artistic opinion that doesn't mean shit. Then we follow this up with Cabaret of Dreams, which was their main single as far as I'm looking at their entire discography. Like this is their big one.
Damn.
Um, I'll say this: I love the mix between the swing beat and the metal kind of going on. I really love the bridge portion. The throat singing works phenomenally here in the context of the album. It's only going to cost you your soul. Yep, that's where we're heading as we go down this album. Uh, it's again, I this was actually the first song that I heard when trying to figure out, oh, is Seven Spires a band we might want to review for when Fortress Home came out? And well, rest is history. Then we go to choices. Breath without living isn't truly life at all. You've been numb so long, recall the chill of the night upon your skin. Let me show you now. There is so much more than this. Goddamn great lyrics going on. That's I feel like is a theme of this whole discography. Um, Holy shit, the song hits hard. It might be a bit too long, but even so, it leads into a flawless song. Or the intro might be too long. God, I typed this, I still can't read it. Nothing crazy with guitar solo, but it works. It's a package of awesomeness, is the exact word I had for it. Top song contender. Choices. Closure. Song title aside, this is a great interim track. The vocals to the instrumental in the middle leading to the bridge works great. Top song contender. 100 Days. Slower tone initially caught me off guard first time I listened to it, but it instantly grew on me. They know how to do a slow paced song well. The repetitive nature of the chorus works well with the melody and flow of the song. It's at this point they have cemented themselves as one of my favorite bands. Top song contender. Stay. Absolutely beautiful rocker of a song. The guitar solo is simple again in this one, but it works well. Shows the human side to the demon lyrically, but also you also hear Adrian's true vocal range start to appear, and goddamn, I never thought I would like this style of music with this style of singing. But Adrian, you've made me realize how beautiful that can be. Paradox, this is the one where for a full song, I think might be the low point of the album. It wasn't that I didn't like it, I just felt like it was a little out of place and just it didn't grab me as much as all the other songs. Uh Still a fantastic song. Um, let's say great song on this album. Serenity. Drums are going really going to start the song, and the guitar is keeping up. I love the vocals again. Guitar picks up for the solo very well, almost like he was building confidence from the start of the song until he hit the solo. Depths. Another slow song reminds me of slower 80s rock songs at times, but it works with some new arranged sounds arranged in it. Another absolutely beautiful song. The dynamicness within the song itself is fantastic. Then we get to Distant Lights. If synthetic pop metal is a genre, this is it, and I am here for it. Jack gets better with each guitar solo he does in this album. Kind of want to hear Chris come through more at this point, but thus is the life of a drummer. Burn feels like the tail end of a climax for the album, which makes sense. The whole with whole saying goodbye portions. This is arguably the most bass I have heard this whole album, and it was solid. Granted, I've never sat and specifically listened for the bass in a Seven Spires song in Beck. Ashes have some whoa oh ohs going on, which I'm sure others will comment on, but it worked well in this song. Actually, kind of neat how the lyrics are just telling of a phoenix rebirth. but they never actually mention a phoenix throughout the entire song. And then we get to the end track, Reflections. Exact notes. This is the ending on a theatrical, fantastical instrumental. ICU 7 Spires. No, this is the third instrumental on this album. So I will unfortunately have to dock you for that. But honestly, for an instrumental, it is a pretty goddamn good closer. Feels like I could either get out of my seat in a movie theater, or I could stay and listen to it and watch the credits roll on a movie I just watched about dragons, taking hobbits to Isengard, or something else of the like. So, how bad was it?
Oh, I want to follow up. First off, I take. What do you mean you'll get something about the whoa-ohs? You're talking to two guys who love the Ramones and one guy who listens to fucking pop punk, and we whoa-oh all the fucking time. So
I will Misfits for life.
Yeah,
you know?
mean, whoa. That's. I got no issues
Yeah.
with the whoa-ohs. So, my notes, opening track, it's fine. It's a little too long for an opening instrumental, but whatever. Sets the mood, I suppose. Encounter, opening lines in this discography are Angel of your hell away from home, wings of dust to carry you whenever you may roam. I give that a 4 out of 5. It rhymes, it fits the theme, it's decent. There was some cool drumming going on in the song. The Siren Reprise, pointless track padding that could have just been the beginning of Cabaret. It's short, it's fine. Cabaret, I didn't know it was a single or their biggest single. I just said had a slight rockabilly feel to it. I dug it. Top song contender. Choices. This one reminded me of something Tim said during Modern Baseball. The lyrics felt crammed in. It felt like the lyrics were written first and they tried to write music around it. It felt like, what did you call it? Word. I can't remember what you called it.
Yeah. Those have been out for a couple weeks now, so I still might need to catch up and watch those.
Yeah, because we're pretty drunk when we record them, so we have to
Yeah.
rewatch them back to figure out what we said. I'll mention it again, and I think I remember the phrase.
Plus, you never know what makes the episode, so.
Yeah, every episode's completely different. All right. Closure, crazy good scream in the intro. I'll never talk shit about Adrian's vocals. She always sounds fantastic. Closure felt more organic than Choices. The song felt super together and super tight. 100 Days starts out a little slow and dull, but it starts adding some interesting things and ends up being decent by the end. Stay just kind of happened. Nothing really stuck out. The Paradox started out thinking it was another slow ballad song, but nope, this one goes hard. So damn long, though. Serenity, this one sounded like a single to me. No idea what they released for singles, but this one could have been. It is needlessly long, though, which is an issue I have with this album overall, but we'll get there. Depths, it was fine, I guess. Distant Lights, take back what I said about Serenity. Distant Light is the poppiest radio-ready song on the album. Burn, nope, not for me. Ashes, I was getting some 80s hair metal meets 2000s radio pop rock mixed together. It was a weird one. Reflections, this one sounded like a Disney animated movie instrumental. Like, I could picture Moana sailing the seas, waves splashing on the raft while this song played in the background. Overall,
I had a different Disney movie in mind, and on a different song, but
well, it's not the first Disney movie I'll talk about with closing tracks. For debut album, it's tight musically. The production's super clean. They had a vision, and I think they pull it off. It is just so damn long, though. It's not bad.
54 minutes.
It's just not something for me. It did make me think, though. Do any bands out there still put out that first album that sounds like shit? You know, your Milo's Goes to Colleges, your 39
it's technically
Smooths.
impossible to now.
Yeah, like I miss that. Like,
Yeah,
modern bands,
yeah.
recording tools are so cheap now that I don't know.
And too good.
I kind of miss those trashy first albums, but whatever. I mean, this is a pretty good sounding
I even
debut
like
album.
shitty bands' first albums to this day, because they're so terrible.
Yeah, yeah, they still sound good. All right, Tim.
Lay it on me.
I mean, I decided today I'm not even gonna like do my notes. I'm winging this tonight because
Oh
I
Lord.
had so many questions. Heavy metal Tim is very confused. So, um, let me ask Jason a question. Punk pop Jason, when you hear a song, what makes you go, "Oh, that's a metal song"?
Throat singing is an
Okay, well,
indicator.
Iron Maiden doesn't do throat singing. Are Iron Maiden a metal band?
Well, there's other things, other things.
Okay, but throat singing right off the bat, that's like, oh, that's metal. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
I don't know, just super fast, like super heavy.
Well, what makes it heavy?
Well, there, this is pop metal. This is pop
Because
metal.
I mean, Black Flag super fast and super heavy, or Black Flag a metal band?
Well, I mean, to me, this is like Ghost to me. Like it's the same thing as
Oh,
Ghost.
okay,
It's very theatrical. It tells
sure,
stories. I mean, they even kind of
sure,
swerve in Ghost Lane here on the third album, talking about
yeah.
Lucifer, but we'll get there. So I mean, it's pop metal.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this, like, for a couple weeks as I've been doing my homework on this. And, I love heavy metal. And heavy metal as a culture has this tendency to hate. I hate to say it, but I'm here to admit it. Um, you know, thrash metal guys hate the glam. Everybody hates the glam metal guys, but thrash metal guys hate the power metal guys. The power metal guys hate the black metal guys. And the black metal guys hate everyone.
It's like
Like
that in punk too. I mean, everyone hates the pop
it's
punk.
like that in a lot of genres, but those two genres, and metal especially. Now, one good thing that has enriched my life and has countered that effect of me being a heavy metal fan since I was a single digit person, uh, you know, playing music, you're open to other things. You can recognize, like, I love jazz and I love funk and I love polka and I'll listen to classical all day long. And, you know, show tunes can be fun. Like a good song is a good song, regardless of genre. But let's go back to what makes a metal song. And for me, I mean, it's all about the riff, right? If you have a badass riff, you got you a metal song. Sunshine of Your Love. It's a badass riff. Oh, that's a metal song. Cool. Um,
Oh, that's true. That's true.
it's
We'll talk
all
about
about the
that when we
riff.
get to Sabbath.
Well, yeah, the king of the riffs, yeah. Um, but any metal band, because yeah, Iron Maiden doesn't do growling vocals. Uh, Napalm Death doesn't do clean vocals. Um, it's all about the riff. Even punk rock bands like Black Flag or COC or the Melvins or even Nirvana, these punk rock ethos bands, they can transfer over into hard rock. Alice in Chains. Are Alice in Chains a metal band?
There's a little bit there. Definitely
Maybe,
some
right?
influence. There's some influence.
But they're not necessarily considered metal. They're grunge rock or whatever.
Yeah, well, they got lumped into that made-up manufacturing name anyway.
Well, and aren't all genres made up manufacturing things made to sell shit? Um, there's not a single riff on this album.
That's true.
It's all It's all very cookie cutter. Let's chug. Let's hit, EF.
There's some solos though. There's some crazy
There's a
solos.
couple solos. There's a couple solos. Like all the playing, except for the drums. We're gonna get to the drums, but like the guitar, the bass, and especially the keyboards. I will say the keyboards throughout this entire discography were musically probably the highlight for me. It was the one instrument that was creating um, texture and counter melodies and polyrhythms and emotion, really. Which, going back to the guitar, like, okay, yeah, you can chug and hit some binary stuff, but like, where's the riff? And then, yeah, let's talk about these drums. Uh, they sound programmed to me. I'm a drummer, have been for a long time. I know that informs what I like in music. I definitely prefer the sound of a real drum to a programmed drum. Uh, I do love an 808. I love a 909. I love the SR16. Like, there's been some cool drum machines over the years. The Limb, like, there's been some cool stuff. And you can do cool things with drum machines. But since Pro Tools really got affordable and accessible, and people started using plugins, and they also went from listening to music in their car and on stereo to just cramming little speakers into their head, where quality no longer matters. So now we get into the question of, well, am I just old man Tim? Did heavy metal Tim die? And now I'm just old man angry Tim shouting at clouds over stupid stuff? Do whatever you want, right? But none of these drum beats were very interesting for me. They just sound way too programmed, way too busy. Um, yeah, I liked the keyboards. She does have a good voice. Um, Now, since there are no riffs, and really, you got to have a minor key or two in there, right? These are some serious pop songs. This has more in common to me with show tunes, like um, the and then the one Disney film that immediately jumped into my head was The Little Mermaid, which I'll date myself. When that movie came out, I was already old enough to be listening to heavy metal. And so I had no interest in that movie and did not see it until I was a 30-year-old man babysitting a friend's child.
Man, I had a little sister. I was 9 years old. I was all about that. Under the sea, under the sea.
And that song's been stuck in my head all day. The song they got here, though, was when will I be up there? Like, that song is all over this in presentation. And
Part
so
of your
I don't know.
world? Is that what you mean? The,
Yeah.
the
Whatever.
shall
Yeah,
it
yeah,
be?
yeah, yeah.
I could have showed
Yeah.
that vinyl off.
That child probably has children now. So, and I haven't gone back and visited that film. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just, it confused me because when I looked this up, it told me I was going to get some symphonic black metal. And black metal, I definitely did not get, unless you just think that, triggered bass drums and distorted guitars are all you need. And if that's the case, cool. But heavy metal, Tim, has no interest in that.
I don't know shit about black metal, but I mean, to me, this when I think of the word symphonic metal, this is what I would think of.
See? And when
I'll,
I think symphonic metal, this isn't that either.
But I don't
This
listen to
isn't
symphonic metal,
Hammerfall. This
so
isn't, you know what I got out of this? Do you guys know that band Trans Siberian Orchestra?
no.
yeah.
They probably just did a tour. Uh, So what they are, they're the traveling heavy metal Christmas show, where it's a bunch of dudes who used to be in glam rock bands, but are actually good musicians and lifers. So they found a way to make a career after, grunge ended what they were trying to do. But they're just a bunch of glam metal guys playing Christmas songs with distortion.
For what it's worth, their show's pretty good.
For what it's worth, yeah, they're fantastic musicians. I've seen it a couple times. It's amazing every time. If you're into it, go. But it is Christmas music. Just because you add distortion to a song doesn't, make it metal all of a sudden. So ultimately, I'm very confused by this album because it's marketing one thing. I look at this artwork, like that's pretty metal. We'll get to the artwork. But I didn't hear any metal here. So right off the bat, I'm super confused. So, that being said.
All right. This is going to be a fun discography.
I don't know if I've ever had a confused Tim before.
I have.
Well, it really made me question, and I'm sorry if I keep going off the rails during this, because I did. I just threw my notes away. They got way too ridiculous.
I think the answer is you're just old man Tim now, because you were confused about modern baseball too. They're a newer band.
Maybe.
Them 2020 bands, man, they're just fucking you up. Them 2010s.
Well, no, because I like 2010 bands.
I'd say Ghost was 2010's band.
Yeah, there are other ones too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Ghost does have more riffs, but like to me, this sounds like Ghost, just with a better singer.
Fucking Twisted Sister has more riffs.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it get good. A good riff doesn't make a good song.
Now you see where I'm at. I mean, honestly, Britney Spears has more riffs.
Dun, dun, dun. That's a good riff.
That Toxic riff? Yeah, bring it.
I find it interesting that you like the vocals of the keyboard, because both those are... Because Adrian's the one that does all the keyboards plus the violin when they get the violin later on.
And she clearly has a vision. She's killing it. Like, I like what she's doing. It's like Jason said, it's not necessarily for me. And as somebody, who has tried to put albums out, my promotion is terrible. And, in today's day and age, that's almost on purpose. Yeah, I don't know who the audience is for this. Sure, but you like Disney soundtracks,
But hey, now I love Disney soundtracks, and this ain't for me. There's more to a Disney track than what they're doing here, but
sure.
All right, well, stick around. This is going to be a good one. Up next, Emerald Seas, which is actually a prequel story.
Under the Emerald Seas.
We'll get there. If you're a Disney fan and like to come on the show and rank Disney albums, we need a special guest for that. So, and if you like Disney, check out our Album of the Decade series. Some of those have made Bill's top 10 for the years.
Absolutely.
Anyway, give us a like, give us a subscribe, help us out. Playlist link channel down below. Playlist channel link down below. Watch them all in a row. Be safe. Make good decisions.
Wouldn't I love to explore that shore above.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.